Goddamn. Geelong next to Don.
Chef my STEEZ, know what's going on, yes, Lord?
Goddamn, bringing y'all preliminary finals recap, man. Any major takeaways? What you got?
I feel like Brisbane was the one that coming into finals was the one who folks were kind of, well, I guess I would say, speak for myself, I was kind of iffy on. And really with the last four that we seen, and each one of them compete, bro, it seemed like Brisbane was the least competitive without going into the details about the game, man. And Brisbane kind of shows who they are, bro. I don't think they're ready for the moment, and I don't know if it's under Chris Fagan if they will be ready for the moment. But Brisbane, I don't know. I'm disappointed with how they ended the season, bro. Absolutely, considering how they could have. It wouldn't have been wrong to say that they're a premiership favorite before the season started. So just to see how the fashion that ended, bro, is definitely disappointing.
My major takeaway probably is how much of crybabies the Pies fans are, man. I understand the umps were probably a little more involved in the game than most people wanted them to be, but I can't be doing all that bitching and crying over a call, bro. It was a lot more than just that call, even though it came down to a 1-point game, bro, and Pies had possession, bro. There was a lot of other instances and chances y'all could have got that lead and broke away, but can't blame the Scumps for that, man.
You tried to push it back.
Yeah. Yeah, to these games, man, what you think about Geelong and Brizzy?
Okay, so really, I think the theme of this was really to catch pressure, bro. At least early in the game, it was somewhat of an arm wrestle, bro. It wasn't a complete ass whoop, but when Geelong got to rolling and it didn't take long, I would like to think, Brisbane just didn't know how to respond, bro. Really, by halftime, it was 11 goals to 4, and Brisbane kind of got their goals really off opportunistic moments. I think they did well, like really in the clearances, bro, but that was really about the only spot in the first half that they really did well. Brisbane really not Brisbane, but Geelong really was able to up the pressure up, bro, and but Brisbane really wasn't ready for it, man. They had 5 goals, 3 off turnover itself, bro. So Brisbane really was rattled by the pressure and wasn't able to handle it, man. It was kind of crazy, bro, and really, I don't think so. The complete opposite. We know both teams have great forward lines, but Brisbane's forward line really didn't show up in the first half at all either. Hipwood didn't have a goal in the first half. Danaher didn't, and McState didn't. Whereas, the forwards, especially Stengel and Hawkins, were really the most instrumental forwards on that team that day. And really, Hawkins left them left some goals, left some points on the board from set shots, man. And Brisbane, he really could have been looking worse for them. And in the second half, it really was more of the same. It was less competitive in the second half, and it was just kind of a shame to see, bro. There were a couple injuries in the game. Max Holmes did a hamstring, which will be very important, I would like to think, bro, looking forward to the grand final. And Cam Rayner had a nasty ankle injury, bro, and he tried to give it a go, fucked it up, and wasn't ready to play. So he's striking me as a player who's very injury-riddled, bro, and just keep an eye out for him. Yeah, man, Brisbane's skill errors at the end of the day were just too much. Dangerfield had a great game. It was good to see. Maybe been the best game of the season, to be honest. And really, Brian Myers, make sure I said it right. His name's funny as hell. Brian Myers, he had a great game too, bro, especially by his standards and how Geelong fans and just fans in general talk about him. He's more of like a subpar player. He definitely slid up in a moment where, like as if he had something to prove. So that was good to see as well. But like I said, very disappointed by Brisbane, man, and maybe next year, bro.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised this wasn't a 100-point win by Geelong, bro. Brisbane never really got going. The Geelong defense was really just a little too much for them. None of Brizzy's forwards really got any touches. Didn't see much from Charlie Cameron. Really any of the forwards, bro. They just didn't show up. Maybe it was best if Danaher didn't play this game, man. I don't fucking know, but it just wasn't enough for Brizzy to even look like they deserved to be in the finals for real. And it really is just a little disappointing, bro, because I like Brisbane at the beginning of the year too, but Dangerfield was looking like he got 10 years back. Fucking Hawkins was kicking goals, bro. Like you said, he missed a few, but he was still definitely being that option. Tyson Stengel, definitely just gonna be a gun in a few years. Even though he is kind of old already but he's definitely starting to shine now. Brisbane just couldn't get nothing going, bruh. Geelong just had an answer for everything, and watching the game was really sad. If I was a Brisbane fan, it would have been sad, but watching other Brisbane fans react was just quite enjoyable. No cap, but yeah, man. Brisbane they actually played how they played most of the year, bro. Barely goddamn getting by, but Geelong just isn't one of those teams you can do that with. Geelong plays all 4 quarters, and if you fall behind at all with Geelong, they just gonna take off on you, and I think that's what happened, man. Geelong tough, man. Geelong gonna be tough boys beating the grannies, man. Yeah. Next game, we had Sydney versus the Pies.
This was a better game too. Much more enjoyable game, in my opinion. Really looking like it was about to get away from the Pies, but it really did. I think Sydney scored the first 4 goals of the game strictly off turnover. So they're really playing Collingwood's game better than them. And we knew, obviously, like when Collingwood had lost their win streak, it was against Sydney. So I was thinking, my impression, I was thinking Collingwood would come out and win this game. I don't think that they would have lost twice. But Sydney really brought it to them. They've just been more and more consistent, and their brand has been definitive. There hasn't been any questions really about their effort. And just the youth of the team stands out, and it's been showing up in finals. And it's just been a beautiful thing to see, to be honest, bro. I really like their coach, too, John Longmire. I hear he has tough standards, and tough standards is what builds greatness. And it looks like his work is showing. And I mentioned last year, they kind of reminded me of the Phoenix Suns last year, just giving the strong effort and back against the wall mentality. And just this year, they're taking that process a step further. So I'm very impressed with Sydney. They never gave up the lead after they took the lead in the very beginning of the game. I think the efficiency was looking better, the scoring efficiency, the skills were looking better. And then Collingwood looked rattled, and they didn't know how to play their own chaos game. They weren't creating the turnovers that they usually are able to create off of, at least in the beginning. And the forwards just, like, not from Brisbane, but the main forwards from Sydney showed up. And Papley was big on bringing emotion to the game and turning players up. He was walking around hitting everybody and not giving a fuck, bro. And Buddy it doesn't matter who Buddy had on him. They started with Maynard on him, gave him some smoke. Then they switched on to him, gave him some smoke too. So Buddy had it in his mind he was finna turn up. Nobody could reproduce the Stephen May-like shutdown that he had earlier, like 2 weeks ago. But Collingwood had a couple players too that showed up too, and they especially showed up during the second half when they tried to make a charge. Collingwood was able to just chip into the deficit slowly but surely, but not quick enough, and ended up losing the game right at the last second. But Pendlebury had a great game, but Jack Chris had a damn near best on ground effort, just giving his clearances and tackles and really the run and carry, how damaging he was with the ball and the contested possessions, bro. He really wanted it, and sadly it didn't quite happen. But Collingwood lost, bro. The Magic Cinderella story had to end, bro. It looked like it could have been their year, but you win it how you lose it, you lose it how you win it. So it was just their time to lose. And Sydney got the number 2-0 against them, so yeah, kryptonite.
So, like I said earlier, the umpires wanted to be involved in this game. They wanted to be heard. And I'm going to give them their little 5 seconds of fame because they was calling some bullshit. Like that little 50 on Ginnivan when he was just trying to stand on the mark.
That shit was bullshit.
There was the fucking push in the back by Papley. That was questionable, bro. That definitely probably should have been a call, but it is what it is. There was some more bullshit. The umpires were just fucking everywhere this game, and that's all they going to get from me. But anyways, so Collingwood, going into this, they were already 0-4 against all the top 4 teams, so I was very interested on anybody they played in this. Like I said, Sydney was the one to break their streak, and I just think Sydney is good at counteracting how Collingwood plays because they're young, they got the speed, they got the individual talent, and I think all that showed this game, bro. I was surprised by Buddy Well, I gained a lot of respect for Stephen May, I should say, because Buddy is usually getting 2-3 goals a game, but Stephen May shut him down completely the last game when they played Melbourne. But this game, he got a little loose, man. He got 3 goals, I believe. And as old as he is, bro, he's still putting in work around the young guys, bro, because Padley did his shit. Padley maybe won in the game, arguably, bro, depending on how you look at it. Heaney was definitely deadly as usual, bro. They young players is good. Connor Mills, bro, he goddamn turned up. There was so many. I should just say the midfield for Sydney just kind of outclassed the midfield for Collingwood, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. I think Collingwood was good with the chaos, but Sydney was able to control that chaos and make something happen out of it. Even when they had less numbers around the ball, they were kind of tapping on to more mindful positions to get the ball down the field, and I think that's really what they were doing consistently at the beginning of the game. I think towards the end they started getting a little tired, and Collingwood pressure game started to kick in a little bit. So it really came down to a crazy finish because Collingwood was just starting to play brand of footy in the last maybe 10 minutes of the game, and they, I think, brought the lead back. I think it was down 15, brought that shit back damn near instantly, and then it was just a real hard-fought game for the last 2-3 minutes, and came down to the wire, man. I really wouldn't have been mad if either team won or lost. Both played a hell of a game, bro. Both was very exciting. But Paz, y'all looking like some real bitches in social media, bro. Y'all goddamn complaining and bitching and all that shit, bro. Everybody had some bad calls this year.
Yeah.
Everybody took some L's, took some bad calls. So stop your fucking bitching, bro.
I'm happy with that because them bitch ass niggas was laughing at us when we lost. Bitch ass nigga, how we lost. Now bitch ass nigga, who the fuck laughing now? Bitch ass nigga. Shit. Bitch ass nigga, you can't even see what you looking at.
But because we're American, bro, I'll give a little shout out to Mason Cox, bro. You had a crazy mark, bro. Definitely got y'all boys back in the game. He did decent in the ruck, man. Getting the ball to the ground. He's like, I give him his credit, man. I'm not too big of a fan of Mason Cox, but he definitely put in some work this game, and he's a finals player, man. He's a finals player. Yeah, that's those games, man. How you feel about your boy winning Brownlow?
Brownlow? Crippa! Nah, for real, I was really surprised though when I woke up and seen that shit, bro. I really didn't think that he was gonna win it, bro. Partially because he missed a couple games. Also, just not to mention that our ruck situation that we had with the injury, bro. He had to play the position in the ruck, so he didn't really get to play his natural position in the midfield, bro. So it was definitely very surprising because he had some low numbers later on in the year, man. But I guess, you know, hard works get rewarded, bro. And
he was crazy at the beginning of the year, too.
Absolutely, bro. And first 6 to 8 weeks or so, he was turning the fuck up. I really thought Lockie Neal was gonna win it, and if not Lockie Neal, then Andrew Brayshaw for sure. I thought it was really between a two-horse race, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised, bro. But thinking back on it, I think Chris was probably one of the most talked about people at the beginning of the year until Carlton started having a little fall off and shit. But I would put a lot of Carlton. Damn, that makes it even more convincing because it's like when Chris went into the ruck is when the L started coming slick. Mm-hmm. So I was like, he must have been that effective at the position he was playing to do that. So I find it a little questionable still, though, that a team that didn't play in September wins the Brownlow and the Coleman. That's crazy, but
that shows the team's underperforming like fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Or it could be those players don't deserve it, no matter how you look at it. One of the two.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wish we could watch that shit, but Brownlow don't come on fucking watch AFL, man. So
they don't stream it, it's just TV. But another fun fact though, if you I don't know if you peeped, Michael Voss was over at Port and Ollie Wines won, he came over here, Crips won. So, I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
Like if I was Brownlow coach.
Did he win? I wonder if he won the Brownlow. I don't think so. I've never heard of it.
But, so what you think about the grand final, though, man? Geelong versus Sydney, man.
It's tough, bro. I've been kind of writing off Sydney most of the year, bro. And they just continually improve it. But I don't know, bro. All right. If it depends on what's going on with Holmes and his hamstring, bro. That's important. I think it's very important. I want to say Geelong, but I really think Sydney might win that shit, bro. Sydney's just more and more convincing, bro. Papley's in hot form, bro. Chad Warner, somebody in the midfield I didn't expect to elevate his game the way that he did this year, bro. Ollie Florin. It's just the little players are doing the things too, though. Not even the little players, but you got your A players, you got your B players, and the B players are doing what they need to do. Everybody's playing their role, bro. Yeah. And I think Sydney might win it, bro. I'll be happy for Lidley if they do. And then I'll get to talk shit to Adam too. So I'm gonna go ahead and Sydney, bro. Damn. They better not disappoint me, man.
So I'm probably going back Sydney to this game.
Damn.
I do think Geelong is more experienced. And I do think Geelong was better on paper. But I think Sydney just won it this year, bro. The way they've been playing, bro, I really don't see. Let me see, bro. Geelong's tough, bro. Don't get me wrong. Geelong probably does damn near everything right, bro. And they do it consistently all 4 quarters. And they've been doing it all year. They on a crazy win streak right now. But Sydney got a lot of young players, a lot of good talent, a lot of good individual ball handling talent that can actually play footy and not just run around, bro. I think they can stand Geelong's pressure because I don't think Geelong has as toughest pressure as the Pies, but I do think Geelong has great defense and knowing where to be, bro. But if it comes down to just, it's really hard to say, bro.
I don't know who's gonna control the footy, bro. I don't know. If Geelong controls it, they can win. Yeah. If Sydney controls it, they definitely win it.
I think Sydney is more of a wild card, though. I think Geelong is going to play their consistent same game. I just think Sydney is going to be able to get around them, do a little bit more, have a little more finesse on the ball. And if Sydney plays their best game, I think Sydney can win. But if they play anything less than that, it might be Geelong's game. But it is the grand finals. They played all year for this moment, bruh. They felt the heartbreak of losing their finals last year. And I think a lot of their young players is just going to want to step up and play their best game and do everything they can to get this W, man. And I'm just backing the young guys, man. I'm just backing the young Sydney team, man.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna have to go with Geelong. I ain't gonna lie. So my main thing that makes me pick Geelong, bro. I don't want to switch back up, bro. I don't want to, because I've been backing Geelong all the time and they ain't did shit for me to switch. So I have to stick with Geelong. So I think that they tall backs that they have down there, they can keep Buddy in check, if not shut him down. And at that point, I'm wondering who gonna step up, bro. Papley ain't gonna do it all by himself. And Heaney can.
They beat team, man. Logan McDonald gonna step up, man. All these little guys, like you said.
Yeah, good. I don't see Logan McDonald stop. Like if you put, goddamn, let's say you put what's her name, DeConey.
Yeah,
that'd be a good young matchup, though.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Damn, this is gonna be a good game.
It is. But I don't know, stopping Buddy. Looking at the last game's goals, a lot of people had goals that game. Franklin had 2, Heaney had 2, Papley had 2, Hayward had 1, McLean had 1, Sam Reed had 1, McDonald had 1.
All right, Reed not doing shit. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna shut Reed down. That was one. That was only one though.
Warner had 1. Fucking. What's his name? He had 1. Ben. But
that shit finna be funny on camera.
Bell had 1. God,
they did.
Luke Parker had 1, so they got scoring options.
Assuming the mids. mid score.
Yeah.
Some of the mids.
Yeah, for sure. But just off that, if you shut down Buddy, they're able to win without Buddy. And Buddy I feel like Buddy is one of those players you have to pay attention to. You can't let him open, but if you focus on him too much, you leaving somebody else open. So it's really a pick your poison type shit with Buddy. And
we'll see, man.
I trust this one.
That's what's up, bro. There's Danaher, Hipwood, McStay, no goals first half. The Tall's gonna get eliminated, bro. So I'm not too confident in the Tall. It depends, and I think it'll be pivotal on the defenders on the smalls for Geelong. So College Jasny gonna have to have a decent game, I like to think, man. And if Sydney, all right, so if Sydney scores goals out the mid, it's gonna be a problem for Geelong, absolutely. And I think they have more mids that can score out the middle than Geelong does. So really,
don't let Lizard get a goal now.
I'm gonna laugh. Dangerfield, I'm iffy on both teams, bro. It could be either way, and I hope that's how they play, bro. So I'm gonna just stick with Geelong, and that's just how it's gonna go.
Yeah. Either way, excited, man. September 23rd, man. We'll definitely be live for that, man. So tune in for that shit. Other than that, y'all like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit, man. And goddamn. Catch us on the live. Yeah.